Well, hey everybody, it's Steve, 1,000-Year Home. So welcome aboard. I'm working on drywall. I got one sheet in. Listen, I had to learn some techniques. The post here don't let me just put it up on the lift and just lift it. I had one of the light boxes dangle down and get underneath a rafter and jam me up for way too long. It was way too long. But at night you can't see, right? So I don't know about the third shift work. I changed to a tank top. Apologies. I know it's not a good look, but this Texas heat has just come in roaring in, and I really want to get in this thing this year. So let me talk about today's project. So now that I've got the drywall in and the ceiling, and it's hung there all night, I feel pretty safe about it. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I could cut out a custom piece of drywall that goes along the edges of this post. So the drywall will come in like that, and I follow the curvature of the post. And then I'm going to trace with the compass the outline of the post. So when the drywall comes in, I just want it to slide in, right, and just have a good edge right there. Now, having said that, this particular construction, see, I've got to do some other measuring. Now, I thought about putting a piece in there, a separate piece, but I'm going to try first just getting my jigsaw out and just cutting everything out as I need, and then I'll put in one of my little wall plates there that'll punch a hole, and then I'll use my reciprocal, my oscillating saw, and I'll cut that out. And I'm just gonna pace myself. I can't do I stayed up till 3-4 in the morning last night trying to just do one sheet. I couldn't see things, I was outside making measurements, and then inside I spent at least an hour. That little power box was in the right spot. It had 23 inches to stay in the right spot, but it swung out, turned sideways, and jammed between the drywall, the lift, and one of the rafters. Oh, man. So, but let me get some cardboard here, and let me start making some templates, and let's just see how that works. And the reason why I want a full sheet is I want to support the ceiling, right, where the drywall comes up. And then you'll notice something like I broke that corner last night working in it. So I want a sheet of drywall to kind of fill that in rather than a whole bunch of sheets that I cut. And then eventually I'll do a Venetian plaster on this, similar to what I saw at the Missions. So sheet of drywall. So I'm glad I didn't put all of the insulation in. I'll probably remove the top pieces so that as I put the ceiling in, I can bring a sheet of drywall like this and rest it in, then swivel it up and put it on the lift, and then crank it into position. In addition, I'm going to cut it a 1/2 inch short everywhere so that I have a little more wiggle room. I had a fastener right there. See that screw head right there in the post? And that broke my corner there. So just a little bit of extra room would have been perfect for me. And I know that, and I thought I did measure extra room. I measured a 1/4 inch extra, but it wasn't adequate. I need a full 1/2 inch. But that's the game plan today. That's the game plan for today. And Leah's coming out, so, I'm hoping to go dancing tonight. So I don't want to overwork and get exhausted, but I do want to keep working and try to keep ahead of all of the drywall, because I sure don't want a Texas storm coming in and wrecking my drywall. So I want to try to get it up as fast as I can. All right, so I'm going to measure the maximum distance there. Then I'm going to bring in a sheet of drywall and slip it in there. And then I had found at a thrift store a pack of these old compass, if you remember them. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these compass and I'm going to scribe from the edge of this right onto the board. And hopefully then I'll take it out with the jigsaw and I'll cut it with the jigsaw. And then I'm hoping it'll just tuck right in there. So that's the game plan. So let me take a couple of measurements for maximum. and we'll see how these old compasses do. So I need to make up a little bit for when I shift it. So I'm going to cut it long at 46, and that will give me 3 inches for me to do this thing. So 46 is my initial cut. I know I'll have to trim it, but 46 is my initial cut. All right. Let's see height. I'm going to go with 101, and then I'll use the drywall lift to get it up tight. So that's my initial plan. We'll see how that'll work. And I want to keep working there. One, I've got the insulation done, but two, you know, the roof that I just put in there, I just want to reinforce that roof in there, right? And so that's what I'm going to be working on. Let's go make some rough cuts. So if you want to set it up right over here, don't touch any of the insulation. I don't want you to get scratched. Well, once I'm done with this, I'm going to wash up because, you know, I'll be tired. Here, stay away out of the insulation, all the way out. I don't want you.
Well, I brought ice
have
and
sensitive
stuff. You want me to
skin.
start filling the pool?
All right, so there's my drywall cut in. I do like my technique, which I score soft lines. I don't, you know, go in, because as soon as your blade starts traveling, you're going to end up with a weird fracture joint. So just do a nice score. Use straight edges like I am. I got an aluminum 4-footer out there. Use a straight edge a couple of times. Then once you get down in there, you can dig down to, this is 5/8, so this is thick stuff. So once you get it scored, like I'm going to say a little more than a third of the way through, maybe half even, then you can snap it and follow along the back. And I buy lots of blades. I don't try to save a blade. That's not worth it. So next phase, you see that I brought this thing in and I set it in there. My idea was to carry it back out to cut it. And I don't know. I think I'll set it down on its side and just make a huge drywall mess. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow the edge of the post, starting where the deepest spot is, and I'll just follow along with this compass, and we'll see how good of a job that does. found this at an antique store, so I bought it. It's an antique drywall saw. All right, old with the new. All right, I really want this to go into the corner tight, real tight. So I don't know if I cut too much off that time or not. We'll find out. And I am a do-it-yourselfer, right? Not a professional. So there's years between me doing drywall and my eye probably isn't calibrated. All right. Well, that won't be real bad. Won't be real bad. Hope that drywall doesn't fall down and hit you. Camera. Put a little helper board in here. There, that should help. That should help a little bit. All right. Well, I didn't like what I did last time. I'm off a little bit. I'm going to try to make some measurements this time. Man, I thought I could keep dust down, but it is not possible. It is just not. Nope. Man. Should have went with my first or second guess. Very close. My little buddy bought me a drink. Maybe I won't die, but I'm nearly dead here. All right, Internet. I started at 8:30 today gathering up tools and whatnot. You said it's new? Yeah, that's a long time for one piece of drywall. But listen, I was in no hurry, and look at that.
Perfect.
You can come over here, Leah, and I won't make any dust. Let me know what you think. So what I'm going to do then is, you know, I wanted that as close as I could. And man, I did mess up in some spots. So my initial thing of making a cardboard template is way better idea than what I did is I used the compass and I went out and I did, but if you turn the compass, you change the dimension, and also the compass has a point, so it keeps digging in. It keeps digging in right there and doesn't let me.
So how will you close up the gaps?
Well, I am going to use probably Bondo with fiberglass in it. Or if I'm worried about the log swelling, I might use caulk. But that's too much to caulk. So some of it I'm going to I don't know. That is a mystery. We'll figure that out as we go. But since I'm going to do Venetian plaster over it, and that's rough, you know, and I can have a crack. I can have. So this going with the Spanish mission bind. You saw how rough those churches were and how beautiful at the same point. There's a certain kind of crudity that we don't see in today's McMansions. They're very formulaic and not very attractive. And this is not formulaic at all. But it's just killing me. Okay, so you see the little green thing over there, Leah?
Yes.
Grab me one of those. Now, this is the first time using these. And on the little advertisement, all the guy had to do is just put it right in a power box and then punch. And it just punched right through and made a hole.
Yeah, but that's like...
Oh,
I don't know.
No, blah, 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 blah. I don't want to go, no reality.
Okay.
Okay, that's what I thought. This is what I'm saying. Know what I'm saying? All right. So that's supposed to go right in there just like that. And lo and behold, woo, yeah, it does, but it's a hard thing. And then, get this all lined up again. Help me, baby Jesus. All right. And then, you seeing it? Am I videoing? Here, you be the camera girl right now. I shouldn't make much, and the camera tripod's about ready to fall over. Bondo works on cars that rub them down there. Okay, so there it is. And now, I'm supposed to be able to just punch it in. Here. Ready? And it's supposed to punch through. Did it?
No.
Did it make a hole on that side? I could see it.
A little hole.
It did, didn't it? A little hole.
It looks like it's right. It went up a little bit.
Okay, well, nonetheless, let me do this. Should have made a hole. Yeah, it did. It made a little hole. Okay, so I'll still end up cutting them out. Let me find a power box and do it about where it should be. Woo-wee, that was hard. Maybe I need to start. I didn't think it would work, but I figured they showed you on the commercial like buzz, and it just went buzz. So what they had done is they had actually cut everything out and then put it in, and then had a little piece of plaster. And so I'm back to doing what I used to do, which is I need to find where all my power boxes are so I can trace. And then, man, that's a failure. All right, so they in the video, they obviously had already cut out a little spot, and then they had mudded it. And look, it's not even, look, it doesn't even match the same size. It's a standard box. All right, I didn't think that would work. These reciprocal saws are hard to use anyway, even when you get a really good blade and you're only working with that much space. If you're working with, you know, that's a lot of stuff. All right, Internet. So, woo, that's a lot of hard work. So, the only new tool that I bought out of all of the Amazon Wish things that worked was this drywall picker-upper, and it worked like a charm.
It did.
But the little peg thing, see, because it was off at an angle, it's off a 1/4 inch there, so that's not making me happy.
That would make it, it would streamline the process a lot better. You have a template to just cut it once you know the...
Yeah, you know, it'll slide in, and then things like this where I would have liked that to have been real tight, right?
Yeah.
And it's not real tight. Up to here, right? And I am getting overheated. I'm glad you brought me that water. What else did I use? The little saw thing to cut out the thing.
Did not
it couldn't
work.
even get through the paper.
Yeah.
That was.
They have to pre-cut it.
I don't know. You know, I spent like $60 on little tools that I've never used, and that one's worth $60, right? To me personally. But oh man, this thing's been very difficult, and I'm working with really thick drywall. Not sure.
It looked very thick. And
Yeah,
it was super
yeah.
heavy too.
It's 5/8 inch. I'm not messing around.
Did you get that at Apple Lumber?
No, another story.
Oh no.
You know how they say that little lumberyard said you can't get cedar? All right, so I have lived through that for a couple of times. But this time I went in there, I said, listen, I want 5/8 inch drywall. I'd like to get it in 10 or 12 foot sheets. Don't have it in that. I said, what do you mean you don't have it in that? It's kind of a standard size. Nope, don't have it in it. So then, I drove all the way to Lowe's, and they didn't have any bathroom board. This whole, whatever happened with COVID is still happening.
I think it was always there, COVID just...
Yeah, that we were heading towards failure. Well, we sent everything over to China, and that was a huge mistake for America, right?
I think we've been broken for a long time, and it just takes one thing to spiral it out of control, and then you're left with this, what we're in now.
I think you're 100% correct. So I don't know what I'm going to do over here on this. I wanted a tighter seam than this. Right?
Yeah.
I want a real tight seam, and but I don't have it. So, but loosely, this is all right. I'm happy. So I've got the ceiling piece in. I've got one piece in rough. I'm expecting my skill level to improve as I go down through.
And it will be a faster process too.
Well, it's just all custom cutting. I don't know. Well, see, this has a header, notches. I could have done a piece here and a piece down there and then taped it. That's what drywall guys would have done who were being paid, right? They want to do one big piece, but I want structural strength.
Yeah.
And I want rigidity. So, that's why I did that. And then this one's just a square. See, nothing fancy.
So that'll be easier.
Yeah, it'll be easier. All right, you can focus on my face.
I am.
All right, like, subscribe, follow me around. I've got one more piece of drywall. And listen, I thought these would be 20 minutes. With all these custom cuts, me feeling 4 hours is what I spent. I estimated 20 minutes, and I got 4 hours. I don't know what to say, but a lot of the rest of them are just square. Now this one's not. See, and I
think
got
the others will be easier
little
for
pieces
you
to cut out.
do.
And, yeah, that one won't. But the ceiling, anyone with the power box won't be easy. There's lots of frustration. So like, subscribe, follow me along. This is Steve, 1000 Year Home. Bye.